blessings and love. Namaste, namaskaram. This is Om Oracle Tarot, and this is the Taurus's spiritual path reading for October 2022 for what is on Taurus's spiritual path in October. Now, I have to say that these are general readings and may not resonate with everyone. If they don't, that's all right. There's plenty of other great YouTube tarot readers that you can check out. I also want to remind everybody to check your other placements, as it can help give you a broader picture of what may be going on. If you would like to get in contact with me, you can do so in the comments of the video below. You can also get in contact with me at the Om Oracle Tarot Instagram page, of which there's only one, and the link for that is below in the description of this video. And if any of this reading resonates with you, please feel free to like, share, and subscribe, as it is really most appreciated, and I appreciate all of you. I also want to send a big sense of gratitude and thank yous out to all those who have liked, shared, subscribed, and donated. It really does mean so much, and again, thank you so much. I also want to remind everybody that you can check out the mid-month readings that I offer here. You can also check out the new moon and the full moon readings that I also offer here at Om Oracle Tarot. All right, without any further ado, please give us a message for what is on Taurus's spiritual path for October 2022. 3 cards, please. I only take uprights and I only take jumpers from the deck. I also would like to remind everybody that while there's moments of silence, while I may be shuffling, do pay attention to anything you might hear or see within yourself, anything that you see in your mind's eye. You might smell something that reminds you of something. You might hear some song lyrics, or a strong emotion may bubble up, as this is all your intuition playing a role in this reading, as we are not together in the physical. I am connecting to your energy, so your energy is very much a part of this reading, and your energy is here, and vice versa, so do pay attention to those. And in a lot of ways, the deeper reading takes place in those moments of silence within yourself, so do pay attention to those. 2 more cards, please. Now, I limit it to 3 cards, because if I take too many more, then it turns an hour-long reading into a 3-hour-long reading, and that's just too long. 2 more cards, please. Thank you. One more. So we have the Knight of Swords, the Devil, the 6 of Pentacles, and at the bottom we have the Hangman. So it does appear that you are riding into October with a lot of ambition, and you are driven for success. And you are really moving fast as we head into October. October to mid-October, I feel this energy of this quick pace that you have going. Taking a lot of action in a lot of different areas of your life, but you are you're moving so fast that even this horse is a little worried about the tenacity in which you are moving forward with. But it does appear that there's a few things. You are trying to break through these shadows. And they speak of the shadow self, or doing this shadow work. You are moving with such speed because you're really wanting to break through and tackle a lot of these shadow energies here. As you do that, though, there is going to be a certain level of attachments that do come up with the shadows here. And this might make you feel a little restricted. You might feel these old chains from the past trying to keep you in bondage again. So you might be feeling a little trapped by these shadows. You want to process them and move past them. But like with all the shadows, there's things hiding in the shadows, like what I just mentioned. So this also might be speaking of some addictions, temptations, certain elements of your sexuality that you may not have come to terms with. Things like this are going to be coming up in the shadows here. But that's when those things bubble up, do be encouraged, because that is really an indication that you are getting into these shadows and you have an opportunity to transcend them here. Then we have the Six of Pentacles. So initially you might be giving to these shadows. You might be giving in to these temptations or desires here initially. But a lot of times these shadows and what lurks within, they really just want attention, recognition, a thumbs up. There's a need to be, for you to be okay with their existence, because they are in fact a part of your existence. When we push anything away, there's a saying, what we resist persists here. But when we give these things a thumbs up, kind of a hug, an embrace, and we're okay with them, we're not fighting them, then they begin to dissipate. But this is also weighing out this giving. So you want to give it enough to process it and let it go. You don't want to be rebound. You don't want to find yourself bound again in these chains of the past here. So you are weighing out, and it does appear that you are coming out on the other side of this. And we have the Hangman. So you are breaking these old patterns here, getting this new perspective of things. You're really letting things go. You're kind of surrendering to this process that you find yourself in. And for a moment, this, because you're moving so fast, this might feel like a pause to have to kind of sift through these things. It might also feel like a step back, but do know that this is part of this process of the shadow work here. So just in general, I commend you on doing this shadow work, because this type of stuff is never easy. It really isn't. All right, let's get 3 cards, please. This is the Yogic Path deck. What is on Taurus's spiritual path for October 2022? 3 cards, please. 3 cards, please. One more. One more, please. Thank you. All right, we start out, we have China Masta. So, this is the goddess of self-realization, kundalini, self-control, but also sexuality here. So I think I may have touched on that a little bit. And with the kundalini, this is kind of speaking of whatever this energy, this temptation, the Spirit is saying use it as fuel for this kundalini and send whatever this is, because a lot of this temptation, addiction, sexuality, feeling trapped, if we notice how we feel in our body, where do we feel these things in? We usually feel them from the chest down. So the stomach, the solar plex, the root, in the lower 3 chakras here. And so the Spirit is really saying, take this energy from this, process these shadows, and then send this energy upward. And you can do that with your breath work. You inhale into the space that you feel that, and then as you exhale, you feel and almost see within your mind's eye this energy moving up. A lot of times we want to keep this energy bottled because somehow, logically, this feels safer. But in actuality, to let it rise, get it into the heart space. Show it some compassion. Get it into the throat chakra. Express these things. Get it into the 3rd eye, the 6th chakra. Get a new perspective of it and get it to the crown and release it out the crown here. Then we have Dharma. So Dharma literally means the spiritual path. So you are doing this because this is part of your spiritual path, and the Spirit is really wanting you to know that this is not for just because. This is part of your spiritual path. And then we have Lalita. This is the highest Mahadevi. It's the goddess. And she governs the universe. This is this feminine para-Brahman aspect here. So this is kind of reminding you that everything is within you, the light and the dark, the good and the bad. And even, this is called the devil, even the devil is within you. Angels and demons are all within your greater self. Heaven and hell is all within every astral plane. Every experience that could ever be had is within yourself here. Everything is essentially one. And even at a dualistic sense, the devil in the Bible is actually an angel created by God. that happens to have fallen. And even on this card, this is not this is more of a depiction of a Baphomet type character, which is not the devil in the Bible. That is cultural conditioning that would have us see this as the devil. But everything is within you here. This is the Buddha deck. Please give us 2 or 3 cards for what is on Taurus's spiritual path in October. Two or 3 cards, please. We have Vishnu. We have Prajna Paramita. One more, please. Thank you. All right. We have Vishnu. Now, my name is Badri Das, and Badri is another name for Vishnu. Badri is actually an incarnation of Vishnu. So, Vishnu, God, preserver of the celestial realm here. So again, with this kind of energy here, this energy that governs the universe, this God, preserver of the celestial realm. He's here riding on Garuda, a bird man, and the line here says, the life force within us is the same power that created the universe. I'll read that one more time. The life force within us is the same power that created the universe. So the same life force that is within us, that is us, is the same as Vishnu, is the same as Lalita, is the same as Parabrahman. Your life force is the same that has created the universe. And then we have Prajna Paramita, wisdom goddess of the 3 times. It says here, the writings of great beings have the voice of God within them. So, in one way, this is saying to engage, read these writings of these great beings, and you can kind of feel the voice of God coming through them, this life force that has created the universe. Then we have Karma Dakini, the Buddha family of the North. Replace envy by focusing on your accomplishments. So as you go through this shadow work, there might be a sense of envy for someone who doesn't have to go through the same shadow work, or someone who might appear to have an easier path. Now, I don't think anybody really has an easy spiritual path. No matter how much work you've done in a past life, I feel like there is still struggles that must be overcome here. And this is saying, replace this envy by focusing on your accomplishments, you have this drive to move forward into these shadows. You're processing these shadows. And it does appear that you are getting this new perspective and successfully letting these things go. This is an accomplishment. And you should really focus on how far you've come and how far you're going to go, opposed to focusing on weighing your experience against someone else's experience or your perception of someone else's experience. This is the Gita deck. Please give us 3 cards for what is on Taurus's spiritual path for October 2022. All right, we'll take them. Thank you. All right, we have infamy. So this is what lurks in the shadows. I'm not trying to paint it in a scary way. That's just a word that came up. So this infamous energy, these infamous bindings of your past here that are hiding in the shadows here. But it does appear like these individuals on this card, they are being spotted out by the light. And this is Krishna, so they're being spotted out by the light of the divine. And you are swiftly taking your aim and focusing your energy on clearing the path here. And now I have to remind everybody that these are not religious specific readings. These are talking about energies here. Unless, of course, you are engaged in one or more of these traditions and practices, and then it might speak to you in a different way than everyone else here. So you are spotting the shadows and you are taking aim on this infamous energy. This is infamous to you here. It says pearls on a thread, and I'll read the back of this one. And this is the divine, Krishna talking to Arjuna, the archer. Here. Know for certain that whatever is found in this creation arises out of a combination of my material and spiritual energy. I am the origin and the dissolution of all. There is nothing beyond me, Arjuna. Everything rests upon me as pearls are strung on a thread. So again, this is talking about this creative force that the whole universe, all of the cosmos is bubbling up out of, and as described here, are like pearls on a thread. So even this shadow here, and what is held within what's being cloaked by these shadows, these temptations, we'll call them. We'll just stick to temptations or attachments. Even those are pearls bubbling up from the divine here. These haven't come to hinder your progress. They've come to give you an opportunity to transcend them. And that would be the success of this. You could call it shadow yoga. I'll coin that. That's mine, shadow yoga. You're finding success in doing that. This is saying, be steadfast in yoga. Perform your duty without attachment. Remain equal to success or failure. Such equanimity of mind is called yoga. So there is going to be a sense when you get into this, into these shadows, your initial reaction is going to be, I failed. But the Spirit is asking you to have to remain equal in your vision of this success or failure. It does appear that you do succeed in processing these things. But of course the mind will say, oh, I failed, or you failed. And so you might as well just go ahead and do whatever's in these shadows. And the Spirit is saying, no, stay equal in your vision. Don't see this as a failure or a success. Just do your shadow yoga. And then the winds of desire. So these shadows are coming up with these winds of desire here. The winds of desire are spreading this debris of these attachments and these temptations all over the place. But do know, as this is Krishna here playing his flute, the divine is making the wind, and that this wind, in fact, is part of this divine song, so that you can successfully do this shadow yoga. All right. Please give us 3 cards. This is the Gods and Goddesses deck. Please give us 3 cards for what type of divine energies are surrounding Taurus in October on their spiritual path. Thank you. All right, we have Jagannath, Lord of the universe. So again, we have this the life force that has created all of the universe, all of the cosmos here. And the blessings that this Lord provides is worldly power. So when you do get on the other side of these shadows, this is going to really give you a lot of empowerment. And devotion to the divine is another one. So when you're struggling with this, you can devote these acts, if you will, to the divine. See this process as a devotional process. Even if you are momentarily giving in to some of these temptations, see this as part of a divine act, and that in actuality, any action can be seen as devotion or prayer, whether that's going to the bathroom, doing the dishes, tying your shoe, walking down the street, checking the mailbox, going grocery shopping. These can all be seen as an act of prayer. And in this way, it purifies everything that we do, and it loosens these attachments. Freedom from the cycle of birth and death. So this is kind of speaking back to this self-realization, which it does appear that there is some element of that in the reading here. Perfection of the arts in the service of God. So this is what I was just talking about, seeing everything as an act of devotion or offering up to the divine. Narada Muni, sage of the gods, and he's floating in the universe, in the cosmos, with his instruments here. And the blessings that he provides is musical ability. So this song of the divine here. And you may also be a musician or an artist, some form of expression that has to do with sound. That might be speaking, that might be playing an instrument, something of that nature. You're getting a blessing in that. Now this says knowledge of Vedic literature, but this is in a more universal sense. This is knowledge of spiritual literature or spiritual knowledge. You're gaining this as you move forward. And this is mastery of bhakti or devotional yoga. So again, with these acts of devoting this act to the divine, but in actuality, bhakti means love. And so this mastery of the love of yourself, loving yourself completely, not turning any part of yourself away. Attachment to the singing of God's name. So whether your practice is has to do with, or however you see it, whether it's God, the divine, the spirit, the universe, the nature spirits, the deities, or even just this spark within you, singing or saying this name is going to really be powerful. So you may be engaged in some level of mantra work. This is the repetition of a sacred phrase, the name of God, things like this. Then we have Skanda, the god of war. Now he's the god of war, and he comes riding in on a peacock. And his blessings are preservation of youth. So when you clear this out, you will be feeling light and maybe young at heart again, getting this new perspective on these old things. Prowess in military arts. So this is the ability to defend yourself. This is speaking to this shadow, how you deal with it. Strategic thinking in, this says politics, but this is speaking to this inner political landscape of the light and the dark, these opposing forces, and being able to think strategically in dealing with this. Leadership qualities in time of peace. So when you get through this, you find yourself in this leader position within yourself. When you come through this, you have successfully reclaimed your mind here. And you are in control of it. It's no longer in control of you. All right, let's get 3 cards, please. This is the Morgan's Tarot deck. It is actually more of an oracle deck, though. 3 cards, please, for what is on Taurus's spiritual path in October 2022. 3 cards, please. Thank you. Thank you. So we have this card. There's nothing you can do, and this person is trying to saw this yin-yang symbol into 2 pieces. Ultimately, he's trying to separate the dark side from the light side of this yin-yang. And this message is saying there's nothing you can do. You can't separate these things out. You can only process and integrate these things. Allowing them, seeing that this makes a whole, and that there's actually elements of the light in the dark, and there's elements of dark in the light. So this is the spirit saying you can't, what's the phrase that the kids like to use? Bypass. You can't you can't bypass this. You have to integrate this and become whole. And when you do successfully come on the other side, you have this new perspective and you've let things go. It says from here on in, it's nothing but a downhill run. So when you do this shadow work or this shadow yoga and you get on the other side of this, then it's like coasting downhill. And you feel quite empowered because you see, oh, I can process these shadows, these things that I was really hoping to save to the very last minute. I really got through that with speed too. This is taking place in October. So it does appear that by the end of October, you're on this downhill run in this state of rebirth here. Something has died. I feel like it's the attachment or the aversion to the shadow here. This is creating this rebirth, this, with the hangman, this metamorphosis here, this rebirth, like a caterpillar becoming a butterfly. You're coming into your butterflyness at the end of October here, in the second half of October. Let's get 3 cards, please. What are and this is the Thoth deck, what are the hindrances for Tauruses on their spiritual path in October 2022? 3 cards, please. What are the hindrances? 6 of Wands. Two more, please. All right. We have the universe. We have the 7 of discs. Alrighty. So we have the 6 of Wands. So generally, this speaks of confidence. And so there's an element of, especially with this Knight of Swords energy, you're coming in real hot on this. And even the horse is a little worried for you. You're coming in, and I wouldn't say too confident, but you are coming in so confident, maybe overconfident a little bit. I try not to sugarcoat these, but you might be coming in a little too hot on this overconfidence thing of I got this, because when this hits, you're going to be like, oh, I have to, oh no. So the Spirit is saying don't be too overconfident going into this. Yes, maintain your confidence, definitely. But do be ready for this hit, and it's going to feel like a hit initially. So the Spirit is just saying, stay in control of your confidence and don't let it get ahead of itself here. And then we have the universe card. Now in the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, this is the World card. So there's going to be a sense. There's a sense in the beginning of October that of like this successful completion. You kind of feel like I've done it now. I'm going to really charge forward. And the Spirit is saying, wait a second, like again with this confidence, like wait, just slow the brakes a little bit. Because you got some more stuff to process here. And there's also the sense of when you process some of these, to be like, okay, I've done it again. And the Spirit is saying, just wait. Wait until you're on this downhill run and you've gone through this metamorphosis to say, I've done it. Because in truth, these types of things are never done. There's always something. And even after self-realization, you have to stabilize in that. And so it takes a moment until it's like done. And when it is, you're not going to say, it's done, I did it. You're going to say, I am it. There's not going to be the same thing there to say, I've done it. So the Spirit is saying, pump your brakes a little bit. And then we have the 7 of discs. So this is the 7 of pentacles in the Rider-Waite. But there's an element to this long-term view. You're like, you're headed someplace with some speed here. But this in this deck is called the failure. So, like I said, there's going to be a sense when this starts to bubble up, and you kind of give to it a little bit, that you're going to be like, I failed. And the same with this, or was it this, doing this shadow yoga and staying neutral to success or failure. And so don't yield to these thoughts of failure, because that would be a hindrance here. All right, let's get 1 or 2 cards, please, for what is on Taurus's spiritual path in October 2022. Thank you. Memory. All right, well, let's get 1 more. Thank you. All right, so we have memory and the Raven. So you're having these memories of these as these shadows come up. This thing you thought you had already processed, you already got through it, but here it comes flying in again. Caw-caw. And you're like, stop cacawing at me. And the Spirit is letting you know that in a lot of ways, this attachment is indeed like it says here, it's part of the memory. It doesn't have to be part of your current reality in the way that you currently conduct yourself here. And that this raven has not come to torture you. This is actually helping you. And when you're on the other side of this, this type of energy becomes your ally. All right. Let's get 3 cards from the Oracle of Rama deck. First, we pick a Divine Guide card. They are numbered. And then we get a couple messages from the Greater Oracle of Rama deck. And those messages are numbered. So we shuffle until one refuses to go in or one starts to really stand out in some way. Chartrugna, the power of destroying obstacles. So this is where you find yourself with this obstacle. Now this is an inner obstacle. So in a lot of ways you are in control. And with the number 2, number 2 is the number of choice here. So you are essentially calling the shots. You have a choice on what level you want to engage the shadows with, how much you yield to this temptation, and when you've had enough here. This is your choice. But it does appear that this does need to be processed. All right. Please give us 2 or 3 cards for what is on Taurus's spiritual path in October 2022. Thank you. How many is it? All right, we'll take them. All right, we have this one, the seeds of conflict. Number 2. A person feeling victimhood seeks revenge. So this might be talking about you. Some of these things coming up from the past in these shadows might give you these feelings of victimhood, and how perhaps at one point you really were seeking revenge. And these are kind of reviving those feelings, bringing on this conflict within you. And this, for some of you, this is speaking to also a past person. But this reading seems to be very much about you. You might be feeling this victimhood, and you might be remembering this revenge energy within you as these bubble up, as they do. And meditation. This is saying opposition may now be overcome. So this is highlighting the power of meditation here, and that it is important for you. And just as soon as these feelings bubble up, these feelings of opposition within yourself, opposition may now be overcome here, destroying these obstacles. It says appropriate timing. And this is going to speak to some of you. Take your journey or action on Monday. So Mondays might be an important sign for you, or at least the beginning of the weeks here signify a good time to take action, take your journey. This expertise. This says, becoming small, we overcome a big obstacle. So you're coming in real hot with the confidence here. And that this coming in real hot, real kind of, I want to say hotshot or big man on campus or something like that. That type of energy. You're kind of coming in a little too hot and a little too big for your britches, as they say. And this says, becoming small, we overcome big obstacles. So taking it slow and recognize that there is more work to be done and that you can't necessarily charge through this. Like I said, it's going to feel like a pause when this hits. All right. Let's get 3 cards from the tiny, tiny deck. We'll split it 3 times, and then we'll take the tops of the split. So we have blue, blue, red. So peace. What you are seeking in this whole process is peace. And the Spirit is putting this here to remind you of your ultimate goal here. Your ultimate goal isn't this fast moving energy necessarily. Your ultimate goal is peace. So hold to this peace here. Completion. So something is coming to its successful completion with this rebirth energy here. And it does feel like it's these attachments that you're letting go. And jealousy, where was it? Oh. Replace envy by focusing on your accomplishments. So don't look at somebody else's path and be like, oh, they don't have to go through this. That is a form of envy. That's also a form of jealousy. It's very subtle, but it's wanting what somebody else has. Wanting someone else's narrative because from the outside it appears easier. So again, the Spirit is saying, remain in your peace and focus on your accomplishments and the task that you have before you here. Please give us 3 cards for a final message. What would you like to leave our Tauruses with for what is on their spiritual path in October 2022? 3 cards for a parting message, please. Thank you. So we have the Hierophant. So you might be seeking some spiritual guidance, seeking some counsel somewhere, but it does appear that you possess the keys to open these doors to move forward here. That when you do, this is a spiritual level up. Really embodying this magician energy here. Moving very strongly with these resources that you have acquired and that you have available to you, and really feeling strong here. One more, please. All right, we'll take. Getting crooked. All right, and then we have the Queen of Wands. So you are successfully balancing your light and your dark here, and you're kind of getting to the point as you finally get you're done with these attachments here, with these temptations, and you're like, I don't want this anymore. I want what I want, and I'm not settling for anything else. I want to be free of this. And when you really come to that resolve here, you experience this rebirth. You receive this absolution, and this creates this renewal energy. And you find your redemption from these things. This also clears up this headspace so that you can hear this inner calling of the divine. And this allows you space to be able to answer back here. And when this takes place, and this appears to be at the end of October, we have this 10 of Cups energy here. So this is this divine love, this bliss of energy. All these cups of emotion are full and brimming. And there's a lot of similarities between the figures in the 10 of Cups and the figures in the Judgment card, say, on the other side here, as they have their hands raised. And there's this rainbow here with the cups. So this is this really good energy. There's this release also as they are releasing things. In a lot of ways, this is a celebration. I know this card doesn't read that way, but this child self here is really in celebration. And then we have the King of Swords here. So you're going to find a lot of mental clarity when you clear this up. And this will allow you to really absorb this truth that the divine is trumpeting down onto you. And then we have the Star card. So again, with this renewal energy. This is renewing your hope in the future, your faith in the divine, in yourself, really putting you on this path to your purpose here. This is also speaking of the planets, so do pay attention to the planets, the transits, the moon cycles, as these might help you in the timing of these things. And this is going to open up a lot of new opportunities for you also. But you are getting these divine messages with the bird in the tree here. So do pay attention in your meditation, in your dreams, things like that, in your prayers. Then we have the Queen of Cups here. So you really end out feeling very much in the flow. Feeling this emotional stability. You're really moving on intuition here, and you have this this very decorated cup here. This, and as you see on both sides, these are could be seen as angels. I see them as angels on either side. So this is this divine cup of emotion here, compassion, and with the Queen of Wands, as she sits by this water here, it's hard to differentiate initially where the water ends and where her cape begins. So in a lot of ways, you are wearing your emotions on your sleeve in this really good way because you've integrated all these things. You're not pushing these things away or trying to bury them. And then we have the Tower card. So when this shadow bubbles, and it will, this is going to be a sudden change, this sudden upheaval, and it'll feel a little chaotic within yourself. But this is this catalyst for you to awaken here, because this comes in quite unexpectedly here. We'll go one more because I see it. All right. Then we have the Hermit card. So what the Spirit is asking you to do throughout all of this is really go within, do this introspective work. Do this soul searching. Seek inner guidance at this time. Perhaps having some time to yourself would be highly beneficial with this meditative energy. And really, like the Hermit holds this lamp, really shine your light of consciousness in on these shadows. Seek these shadows out, and then they have less chance to bubble up unexpectedly. All right. So I think we're going to go ahead and leave this reading here. Tauruses, I want to send you a lot of love and encouragement. This is never easy, but it is well worth the work here in this shadow yoga. So if any of this reading resonates with you, please feel free to like, share, and subscribe, as it is really most appreciated. And I appreciate all of you for tuning in, listening, and watching. Again, it really does mean so much. And Tauruses, I'll catch you on the next go-round. Peace.